What if you could design and colour your own fabric and then stitch into it? Today I'm showing you some easy ways to colour fabric for slow stitching and embroidery using art supplies and dyes you might already have at home. If you've been watching my earlier videos on watercolour backgrounds, doodling and mark making, this is the next step. We're taking that same playful approach and moving from paper onto fabric. I like to use light coloured or white natural fibres like cotton or linen as they take colour beautifully. To start, pre-wash your fabric first to remove any coatings so the colour really soaks in. And always test on scraps before committing to a bigger piece. Let's start with my favourite method to produce a colour that keeps your fabric soft and easy to stitch through. Inktense blocks and pencils. They work like watercolour. You can draw or brush them on, then activate with water. Once they're dry, they're permanent, which makes them brilliant for hand stitching. According to Derwent, you don't have to heat set them, but I usually do iron them after the fabric has dried. I made some patterns on my fabric with the Inktense blocks using an elastic band to block out some of the colour. I also drew shapes on the fabric with a wet block to get some really intense results. You can also use commercial fabric dyes like Dylan, Rit and even kids tie-dye kits, as they're great for creating bright, colourful backgrounds. They keep the fabric soft, which is lovely for stitching. Some dyes are more permanent than others. Colouring with the fluid dyes makes it easier for tie-dye for patterns or dip dye for gentle gradients. Next up is the acrylic paint mixed with fabric medium or ready-made fabric paint. This is great for bold graphic backgrounds. The trade-off is that it can make the fabric a little stiffer, so I keep the layers thin or dilute with more medium to keep it stitchable. I like using this for blocks of colour or simple shapes that I'll later layer with stitches and applique, or for adding painted details like in my slow stitched toadstool village video. Another colouring process to consider is using natural dyes like tea, coffee or turmeric. They're inexpensive, eco-friendly and give you soft vintage style colours. If you are also a junk journaler, you may be used to tea dyeing already and love the vintage effect it gives. If you want a more professional, long-lasting finish for larger quantities or to add digital designs, you can have your designs professionally printed through companies like Spoonflower. And then, of course, there's screen printing, fabric pens, or printing at home. I'll save these techniques for another video so we can explore them properly. I'll be using my painted fabrics for slow stitching and textile art in the future, so make sure you're subscribed to see how that goes and consider signing up for my membership group to see more behind the scenes experimentation with fabric and paper. The link is in the description. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.